Bucky Irving took the NFL by storm, but is he only going to be a one-year wonder? Stay tuned to find out why we believe Irving will be key for the Buccaneers' success in 2025. If you didn't get to see what Bucky Irving did last year, you missed out. Ryan, I could not have been more impressed going back and watching his tape, and we're going to dig into his film today, but this man is impossible to tackle. He is a bowling ball, and we knew that coming into the league out of Oregon, and he's only going to get better, in my opinion, as he gets more and more touches for the Bucs.
Yeah, not to pat ourselves on the back, Joe, but this was one of the guys that we kind of coined as the day 3 running back to have because, unfortunately, his testing pushed him down the board. But on the film at Oregon, for the Ducks, you knew what type of player this was from an all-around perspective. He could catch the football, he could run inside zone, could run outside zone, incredibly patient, has good overall explosiveness. No, he doesn't have a great top gear, but that quickness, ability to make guys miss in tight quarters, that's what makes Bucky Irving special.
Today, we're going to focus on his vision, his patience, and we're going to talk a lot about his contact balance because this is very supported by the fact that he had 903 yards after contact this year of his 1,100 rushing yards, 4.4 yards per carry after contact. Let's dig into the film to show why he is so tough to bring down.
We see the decisiveness here, Joe, on as number 87 is actually leading around to lead the play in the hole, the tight end. He's able to come right off his butt, get into the hole, but that explosiveness right there to find space, and then you see the safety coming from the backside of the play. He is able to stick his foot into the ground and make him miss in a very tight quarter, which allows him to create even more extra yardage after contact, which was obviously a thing that he did exceptionally well as a rookie this past year.
The big thing that we spoke really highly on him when he was coming out in the 2024 NFL draft, where we were like, okay, the testing's not great, but it's the short area quickness and it's the vision. So for him to see this happening, you could tell right at this point is when he knows he needs to set up the cut. He's not as explosive and as freaky as other running backs in the NFL. So he needs to set up this cut now. And that is when he completely clears and creates more space for himself in this spot to pick up even more yards, another almost 10 yards here in this position where he's able to create that space for himself. And then he carries a defensive lineman for an additional 2-3 yards. This stuff is what created a lot of his big gains of just knowing how to time things and how to plant and how to clear defenders in order to gain those extra yards.
You always hear me talking about hidden yardage for running backs, right? And what that means is more than what you're expecting him to get. Like on that play, he creates another 7+ yards after that initial point that you think that the play is probably going to be over there with the safety coming in and the ability to make him miss that loosely. And then also, I don't even think the safety played a paw on him, right? Like he made him miss very badly in the open field, but that hidden yardage that he's able to create, that was a consistent thing on his film all year.
Ryan, this one was really crazy when I pulled this clip for this film breakdown because he breaks a comical amount of tackles. Again, this isn't a guy who was the most athletic player in his class at running back. He wasn't even close. But because he's got this insane will to not go down, and as well as an understanding of just how to win and to maintain balance, good body control, he breaks one tackle here. I believe that's Paulson Adebo, would-be tackle, poor form, just sheds him off because he's running hard and strong, bounces off of Chris Godwin, if we're going to include him as one of the tacklers, makes a linebacker miss, cuts back upfield because everybody, look at all these defenders over here that have flowed to this side of the field, and he's smart enough to know, I've got room to run, and I'm going to cut upfield, and he's able to just continue to roll and to bounce things out. He's not super fast. He was a slower running back in his draft class, so he's not going to separate and turn this into a crazy long touchdown. But to gain all of these yards and to make all these guys miss is insane to put into full context.
I mean, he's built low to the ground, obviously. I mean, if I remember correctly, he was about 5'8", 205 pounds. Like, he's not the biggest running back of all time, but he understands how to stay low through contact, which that contact balance obviously is a result of that. But the one thing that I want to highlight too, Joe, is a couple of these cuts, man, are not just like these ordinary things where like, oh, everyone could do this, right? Because he's not the greatest athlete of all time. A couple of these cuts, he's able to stop and maintain his momentum on a dime, going a completely different direction. A lot of guys would have fell just because of that ability to cut, but the ability for him to maintain that balance through those movements and through contact is what makes him such a special player. We see here now patience moving laterally down the line of scrimmage to stretch the field, but that right there, Joe, I mean, I thought the linebacker had him dead to rights. He takes a good angle of attack. He's got the sideline in as his friends, but when you have contact balance like Bucky Irving, he's able to work through that tackle, and then ultimately he sees where his leverage points are from a defender perspective. Number 3 is working outside, so where he's going to go, he's going to cut to the middle of the field and create a huge explosive play for Tampa Bay this past season.
So that, first of all, what you just brought up, I always love how like he can kind of sense like, hey, I need to cut back to the complete opposite direction. Things are flowing one way. I can challenge everybody's momentum and completely take advantage of it. This was a huge run for him, one of his longest of the season. He goes from I believe this was like the 3-4 yard line. He ends up at midfield by the end of it because he decides to cut back. But to point at the main ignition point here on this play that turned this into a big play. He's so low to the ground that you need to get underneath him. This is an awful would-be tackle. This is an arm tackle. You don't arm tackle Bucky Irving because of how much of a bowling ball he is. He is just so aggressive. He is so hard to take down because he has the will to power through you. And I also love the subtleness of just him leaning, getting lower. An already small target to tackle leans here, drives his legs, continues to drive, and then regains his balance. He almost looks like he's about to fall over right here. Could have completely fallen over. This play could have been over right now, but he gains his balance, and then that is what leads to the extension of the play, turning it into a home run.
And how about Baker Mayfield downfield blocking, baby? Getting involved for Mr. Bucky Irving.
Comment below, folks. How many yards will Bucky Irving have in 2025? Hit the like button and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.